War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. No other truer words could be spoken now in the 21st century, especially here in the UK in 2026. It is so apt, it does resemble our nation to George Orwell's Oceania 1984. And we are becoming a lot more like that with every single day going past. And we know this because double think and double speak is hugely present here within the United Kingdom. Anyone's fears or understanding of the world is absolutely questionable and can be punished as so. Also, I've noticed a lot of issues going on with this country at the moment, to the point it does resemble a lot like George Orwell's thinking because, well, let's put it this way, information for starters. We are bombarded heavily with information, such as from the media, the internet, social media, and so forth, growing ever more. And there's a lot now, thanks to a protest of a certain country in the Middle East, is using the concept of double think to get in their supporters to support their way of thinking. Even though they do counter ways of thinking, somehow it must be true. So 2 + 2 = 5. The people who represent this are also might as well be working for the Ministry of Truth. And we know this from certain big names within politics and so-called independent journalists, basically echo chamber founders, mostly from the socialist, the far left. So your Green Party, your Jeremy Corbyn, or your party, even spokespeople like Mr. O. Jones. I'm not going to say his whole name because it's not even worth it, because he does look like a ferret face. He doesn't deserve my time or interest. However, they all think of the concept of doublethink. Their facts are true, even though they don't actually know the true history of that certain region. But even so, we've got a Prime Minister now who is completely useless, who is a human rights lawyer who has, I kid you not, he talked big. Well, recently he's talked big about defending British values, British troops' reputation of the Iraq and Afghan war. But yet, wasn't that long ago, before he said this, about barely a month before that, he attacked the SAS, British Special Air Service, basically the greatest commando force that we've ever created. These people are the best of the out of the entire British Army. He's challenged them and suing against the SAS for every single operation they've done between the Troubles, so from 1970s, 1980s, right up towards the 21st century. And it's ridiculous how he can be giving money to the British forces, talks about putting troops on the ground in Ukraine and in other places for peacekeeping operations, when he's just challenged and openly suing the SAS and other special forces branches within the United Kingdom. Also, what's even more ridiculous is our current Home Secretary, which I cannot remember her name because it sounds like a cocktail. She is openly acknowledged to abolish MI5 and replacing it with her own version of the FBI. Her version of the FBI does resemble a lot to the Thought Police in Oceania. That's it, Oceania. It does resemble a lot to that, to be honest, and it's ridiculous how your thoughts, your way of thinking, your freedom of speech is now being questioned. Our country is a mess at the moment. Even that billionaire openly talked about the foreign invasion into the UK by small boats, and he was forced to apologise. He was not, I repeat, not racist in my view. He was open, honest, he was allowed to say his mind, and to be honest with you, he's right. He is right. There was nothing racist about it. It was just an observation. And you can come into this country in a small boat as a single male from any of these third world countries with your ideologies, third world ideologies, and you treat British women and children so appallingly, it's ridiculous. And you get free hotels, you get food given to you, all paid for by the British taxpayer, and that's okay. And what's so funny is all these people, even the Green Party and the Labour Party in particular, they support having these hotels, but they don't want them in their own constituencies. It's always in other people's constituencies, but not in their own. I mean, the leader of the Green Party has not even got one of these migrant hotels. He hasn't. And it's ridiculous. And he talks about free movement and all that stuff, but he doesn't have any of them in his constituency. That's almost like it's like being two-faced, double think. And it's just bonkers, really, how we've become like this. I mean, and again, with Keir Starmer talking about British growth within the military and stuff like that, we're supposed to have now, because things are getting more darker and darker and dangerous in the world, and we all know the regions where it is, we're supposed to have 20,000 troops recruited every year. We in the United Kingdom can barely do 4,000 a year. And the reason for that is bureaucracy. It's too stupid. A lot of people have given up waiting. A lot of people don't really want to join the army for silly reasons. It's ridiculous. But our country is getting a lot worse. Employment is low. Unemployment is high. The jobs around here are very low. A lot of unskilled workers are now being pushed over by AI. Education is poor. I kid you not, our education is so ridiculous. We have to be ashamed of being British. Our history is now being questioned. If you control our history and re-edit our history, our country is going to look ridiculous. And we know this a lot. There's a historian that lives in Bristol. He's a big name for this, big one for this. He is questioning everything what the British have done. More so, he hates the British Empire. He makes us Brits ashamed of ourselves. I mean, saying that the British Empire has done more damage to the world than both the Soviet Union and Hitler combined. Let's let that sink in for now. The British Empire has done more damage, apparently, than Joseph Stalin and Adolf Hitler put together. Do you not see how ridiculous that is? And he's openly acknowledging that. We've got the Byzantine Empire, the Mughal Empire. They are slave nations as well. We used to have ships that come into Dorset, Devon, all across the south coast, those areas, and whole villages in Dorset can just disappear, turn into slaves in these Middle Eastern countries, and apparently that's okay. That happened about 16th century, 17th centuries, but apparently to him it was okay. This is where doublethink is damaging our education. And why should we be ashamed of our British history? Because the British Empire has actually brought in civilization. We brought railways, clean water, good sewage system, bureaucracy, you name it, the British Empire was involved in it, and all these countries in the Commonwealth have actually benefited from it, and a lot more countries, even though they left the Empire, want to be part of the Commonwealth, and fair play to them. So how can you say the British Empire has done a bad, evil job? How can you say that? But our country now is becoming more ridiculous. We are starting, I kid you not, one day we will have the Ministry of Truth, the Ministry of Peace, the Ministry of Love, and I've forgotten what the fourth one is, but you know what I mean though. We are becoming like Oceania, and it's ridiculous. Our country is becoming more like Oceania 1984. And I, for one, do not want to live in a country like this, and I bet you guys don't either. So tell me what you think in the comments below, because I kid you not, even the concept of being always observed, we are being observed all the time. Smartphones, smart TVs. It's not the state that is constantly, putting everyone on surveillance. Oh, no. These are companies, big companies, advertisement. They're the ones that's gaining your information, not the state. And yet nobody's, knows that. It's ridiculous. So what do you think in the comments below? How do you think this country has gone better, worse? Does it feel like George Orwell's classic book? And let me know in the comments below. I'd be very curious to hear from you. But I generally do believe, as a nation, we as British people should be proud to be who we are with our traditions. Like St. George's Day, Christmas, because there was a time when we, banning Christmas celebrations in British institutions and cities. How ridiculous is that? And we are becoming a lot like that. And it's the far left and it's the woke who are to blame. I'm sorry, but they are. And our government is so ridiculously lazy, stupid, or clueless. They don't even know what they're doing. But let me know in the comments down below. Tell me what you're thinking, what your thoughts about this, and how do you think our country should be in the 21st century? Should we be ashamed of being British? Do you think our country, the UK, is a lot like Oceania? I would love to hear your views and your comments down below. Take care, all the best. Bye.